Live as you wish, not as you must. Okay, I want you to remember this, guys. Live as you wish and not as you must. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is when I tell you to live as you wish, this doesn't mean to go out there and rob people or, break the law or anything like that. It just means to be who you are. To not be afraid to be yourself. To not be afraid to embrace your beliefs, your values. Even if it goes against the mainstream. And chances are, if you're a follower of mine, your beliefs definitely go against the mainstream. Which means you're probably going to upset the herd, the flock, the sheeple out there, right? You're probably going to upset them, trigger them, piss them off, cause them to get angry, maybe even violent sometimes, because you are not living as they wish for you to live, but you're living as how you wish to live. Okay? And you're not living as you must. All right? Because the people who live as they must are generally those people, the flock, the herd, the crowd, the hive, right? They live as they must. Sadly, they get their directions from the mainstream media. Like, these people are like glued to the news, so they believe everything that comes out of the mainstream, right? Whether it's, especially lately with the virus, right? Virus with masks, right? Everyone's like wearing masks out there. And you have a lot of people who are opposed to this. There was a lot of mask shaming going on at one point where people were shaming other people for not wearing masks. And really, a lot of that could be solved with just social distancing, right? I mean, personally for me, I don't like to wear masks. It's, just based on the research I've done, it's not good for you, especially where I've been traveling. Like, I'm in Nevada right now, so it's pretty hot out here. It's like 100 and something degrees, and people are out there walking around with masks. Like, few people have even passed out because they're walking around out there with masks, and it's insane. It's like you're putting your own health at risk and even your own life, right? Because if you pass out and your head hits a curb, that could be it for you, right? Or you like step out on the street and get hit by a bus, that could be it for you. All because you're trying to follow the masses. Even if it's like it's making you uncomfortable, you're trying to follow the masses. And the way the mainstream media works is they try to turn people against each other. They try to turn one group against the other, right? And what they've been doing lately is like, they've been saying like, oh, masks don't help you, they help the other person, so this is why you should wear a mask. And I'm not going to get in a debate about masks right now. I'm just using it as a prime example for people who are not really living as they wish and doing what's good for them, but they're doing what the masses want them to do, what the mainstream media wants them to do, without even doing any research, right? Again, you could research all this stuff, guys. It's not hard to research. The numbers will back what I'm saying. If you look at the numbers that the mainstream is putting out compared to the actual numbers, there is a huge discrepancy, right? There is just a huge conflict of data and advice that is very conflictive. And at the end of the day, it just boils back to what I teach you guys, which is to trust your gut feeling, right? Don't listen to the mainstream. Don't even listen to your own emotions, right? Try not to get all emotional. Trust your gut feeling. Speaking of the mainstream, what they want you to do is they want you to be emotional. They want you to be angry. They want you to be upset, right? They want to keep you upset because that is what fuels their views, their revenue, their advertising, right? Is keeping everybody pissed off. Because if everybody were happy out there and living their own lives and just, not being part of the masses and just being happy, living their own lives, watching their own backyard, they really wouldn't have much need to watch the news, right? The news would have nothing to report on if it weren't for people out there being angry and upset and like destroying things. I mean, that's basically what you see on the news every night, right? They show images and videos of people being upset, angry, causing violence, hurting one another, destroying public property, private property, right? That's what they show. But if everyone were to be happy, nobody would be out there doing crazy shit and they would have nothing to film. They would have nothing to report. So you have to see how this works. You have to see the evil behind it. But at the end of the day, like I said, you can either live as you wish or live as you must. And the choice is yours. Firstly, for me, now that we're on the subject about masks, I socially distance. I'm trying to be careful. I'm not saying that like the whole COVID thing's a hoax. I'm not saying it's not. We don't know. We don't know. Okay, we don't know. All I know is like, hey, right now, while we're going through this, I just keep my distance from people. right? I'm trying to be responsible, but at the same time, like if I'm driving my car, if I'm just walking along, if I'm jogging and there's nobody around, I ain't putting on a mask, man. I'm just not going to do it. You know, I mean, if I'm like within a good distance of people, I'm not going to do it. But then you see all these other people who are like, because they're so plugged in to, you know, the mainstream, they are basically doing their dirty work for them, and they're making sure everybody stays in line. You know, and I'm just using this as an example. This is a crisis or pandemic, whatever you want to call it, that we're all going through right now. And you know what? Next year, maybe 2 years from now, maybe 3 years, or maybe even 5 years from now, there'll be another one. There'll be something else. There'll be some craziness. There'll be some chaos. And then mainstream will fuel it some more. They won't try to put the fire out. They will add fuel to the fire to try to get you even more upset, to try to get you even more angry, to turn against each other even more, and to try to get you to fall in line with the rest of the people that are part of that herd mentality. And this is why it is imperative that you live as you wish and not as you must. And again, doesn't mean to be irresponsible. It doesn't mean to, you know, do anything destructive or to, you know, harm anybody out there or anything like that, right? It just means to live as you would, right? To live as you desire, because we're not going to be here forever, right? We're not going to be here forever. Our time on this earth is very, very short, and you have to make the most of it. I mean, right now I'm traveling, right? I had to get out of California because they're just locking everything down. They're putting all these restrictions on everybody, and I just had to get out of California. I went to Vegas for a few weeks, then I came up here to northern Nevada, went to Tahoe. Yeah, I'm just like all over the place. And I had a number of people, I would say good friends of mine, that were like trying to shame, like, hey, you know, you shouldn't be traveling during this time, and oh, where's your mask? I had a number of like followers, like, where's your mask, man, da-da-da. And it's like, dude, really? Do you see anybody around me? Right? A lot of times where I was uploading photos or videos, there was nobody in sight of me. And they were still like, where's your mask, man? And it's like, dude, really? Really? So again, live as you wish or live as you must. Just to get beyond like the whole virus and pandemic thing, I mean, even beyond that, okay, even beyond that, society constantly wants you to follow the beaten path, right? What's the beaten path? Go to school, get good grades, get into a good college, get good grades, get your diploma, then go out there and get a phenomenal job, right? They want you to follow the beaten path. They don't want you to go off that beaten path, because if you go off that beaten path, so society will try to shame you, right? Crabs in the bucket, they'll try to pull you back in. They don't want you to escape, and they're going to be like, hey, you know what? Got to go to school, get your diploma. If you don't, you know, you're going to be nothing in life. You're going to be a loser. You're going to be this. You're going to be that. And a lot of people, sadly, follow that path. They go to school, they get their degree, then they graduate to nothing. There's some statistic that most people that graduate from college don't even enter the field that they studied. You know, and it's overwhelming, like over 50%, which is insane. That means like half of the people going to college right now are going for some useless degree that they'll never use. Right? You're paying 50 grand a semester. Last I checked, that's what university was. 50 grand a semester to go to college, to get this degree, to enter a field that has nothing to do with your degree. That happens because these people are not living for themselves. They're living for the ideas and the beliefs and the values of everyone else but them, right? But them. When I decided to leave my corporate job, I did not have a single person that supported me. Family, friends, coworkers, colleagues. Matter of fact, they were all against it. They were like, don't do it. Stay here. You know, stay here for the next 30, 40 years. Build up your 401k. You know, get your pension when you retire. Don't go do what crazy stuff you're thinking about doing. You know what? My gut was telling me differently. As I teach you guys, always trust your gut. My gut was telling me that I needed to give myself a chance to win. I needed to try. I needed to place all bets on myself. I'd rather fail knowing that I tried rather than staying here knowing that, staying in my corporate job, knowing that I never gave myself that opportunity to try, to win, to succeed. I would be much happier at the end of the day knowing that I at least gave myself a shot, right? And gave it a good shot. I told you guys, like the first 12 businesses that I started failed. Right? Failed, lost all the money that I saved up and that I worked my ass off for in corporate America, lost everything. And it wasn't until that 13th business, that took off and, freed me financially from ever having to go back to a corporate job ever again. Had I lived as I must, right, following their path, following the safe path, right, because that would have been the safe path, was just stay at my job, right? I had a great job. Just stay there. Had I just stayed there, I wouldn't have been living as I wish. I would have been living as I must. And at the end of the day, you must live as you wish and not as you must. Because as long as you live as you must, live for other people's ideas and values and beliefs and their version of you, you're never going to be happy. It's always going to bother you, right? You're never going to feel truly fulfilled. It's always going to nag at you like, shit, I could have done better. I could have done something with my life, right? I could have made something happen. I might have failed, but I would have learned from this. I would have saw what I was made of. I would have challenged myself. And I think at the end of the day, that's what I really wanted to see was, what am I made of? What am I really capable of doing? What effect can I really have on the world? And not just be another cog in the machine. And it came back to the fact that I made the decision that I need to live for me and not everyone else's idea that they have of me. You're right? I mean, at the end of the day, you have to watch out for yourself because nobody is going to watch out for you. Even if they have your best interest at heart, like your parents, they have your best interest at heart, right? But they don't know what's best for you better than you do, right? They don't know what you're feeling inside of you. They don't know what your gut is telling you. Only you know that. In order to conquer yourself, you have to find out who you are. You have to find out who you really are. Not the socially engineered version of you, not the version of you that your parents want you to live up to or your friends want you to live up to, but instead like the real you. What's laying deep inside of you that you need to discover still about yourself. You really need to get to know who you are. I always tell guys, as somebody who's taught pickup my entire life, when my game went to a whole new level and I started getting girls that I never thought were possible, I mean, almost effortlessly, without that much work. The time my game went to that level was when I really got to know myself better. It's like the better I got to know myself, the better my game became. The better I became at life. The better I became at building businesses. The better I became at interacting with people. The better I became at being non-reactive and icy, right? The better I got to know myself, the better person I became, the higher value I became, the more socially aware I became, the more socially empathetic I became. I have people hating on me, right? I have people doing like these hater videos about me and stuff. I have a bigger audience than them. I could easily shame them. I could easily embarrass them, right? I could easily verbally spar and destroy them, do attack videos. I could do the same thing back, but I don't. I like to be the observed. As I teach you guys, part of being alpha, you want to be the observed. It's beyond that. It's beyond being non-reactive, being icy, but it's also because of social empathy. In some ways, many ways, I feel sorry for them that they have to go to that extent to get attention. I feel bad for them. It's like I don't have to do that, but I feel bad enough to where I don't need to call anybody out by name. Karma's gonna get you for doing dumb shit like that, right? Karma will go find you. Even if you think you're right, you shouldn't piss in another man's pot. That's all I'm gonna say for today's coaching video. I want you to remember when you go out there to live as you wish and not as you must, regardless of how much the mainstream, your family, your friends, and all those other blue pill people in your life try to shame you into compliance, right? I want you to continue to live as you wish versus as you must, right? And this in itself has become an art form, right? Just avoiding the masses, avoiding doing what everybody else out there is doing and just following your own path, right? Creating your own path, being a pioneer and not going in the same direction as the masses, right? Because like I said, the masses 99% of the time are wrong. You don't want to follow the masses. You want to follow your gut. Trust your gut instincts. And with that said, I'm going to wrap up here. Until next time, this is Matt Cross from AlphaMaleSecrets. Do not forget to smash that like button below. Also, hit that notification bell right next to it so that you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on the YouTube. Okay? More importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Helps me out a ton when you're actually subscribed, so please make sure you subscribe to my channel. And for you guys who want to support my work and all of this red pill, gold pill, and platinum pill content even further, the best way to do that is by becoming a premium subscriber of my premium Alpha Male Secrets channel, which I am hosting on a private platform away from YouTube. And the reason I'm doing that is to protect all of my premium content in the event that YouTube tries to shut me down. They're shutting down a lot of channels lately, so I wouldn't be surprised one day they try to shut me down. But even if they do, all of my content, my premium content, will be protected. You will continue to have access to it if you are a premium subscriber of my premium Alpha Male Secrets channel. And right now the first month is only $1 for the entire first month of premium Alpha Male content from me. Okay, so take advantage of it. It's only $1 for the entire first month. Best way to support my work, guys, and I really appreciate it. Really honored if you'd get in my program, right? So all you need to do to become a premium subscriber is click that link below in my description box, and it will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It only takes 2 seconds, so do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video.